Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Daharo here with another Options and Play video update. We're getting into the heart of earnings season, okay? This basically, like the next 2.5 weeks, you're going to be absolutely slammed, which is big name after big name after big name. And we've had just an unreal run over the last couple months into this. Just since the start of 2020, we've had some really amazing action. And while that's good from one trading perspective, right, from like swing trades and like day-to-day trades, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for earnings trades. All right, this is something we spent some time talking about on Tuesday during our option session. And I kind of want to use Intel as an example of kind of what I mean. So coming into the week, if you watch the earnings on the radar video, I talked about Intel. I actually thought it was an interesting setup, kind of from like a pricing point of view, from a technical point of view. The stock had basically just been hanging out in like a kind of like a nice, I'll take this so you can see, so in a nice little like consolidation above previous resistance. Chip stocks have been great recently. Intel coming off a couple good quarters, so it seemed like it was a good setup, right? I mean, uh, just from like an option pricing point of view, they were looking for about 285. Stock was in a decent consolidation, strong sector, good recent numbers. Overall, just a kind of like an interesting setup, right? Now, 3 days later, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Intel has basically run straight up 4 points, all right? Like literally straight up. Uh, the the biggest move it's had basically since it gapped up on this was the earnings reaction last quarter. So in terms of like a non-news event, this is one of the biggest moves it's had in a long time. Straight up, just good volume. Well, you can see it on here, and that's great, right? Like if you were in it, that's great. It's like a great move higher. But now the problem is they were only pricing in 285 for the week to begin with, and it's already rallied over 4 points. So on top of that, in addition to the stock already moving more than they were pricing for the entire week, right? The options have now gotten juiced, so the implied move is now up over three, so it's almost 3.25. So the implied move has moved higher by almost 15%. The stock has moved higher by $4, and now expectations have gone absolutely through the roof. Right? People are paying significant amounts for like far out of the money options, and like I said before, like if you were long going into the week, it's great. But now if you haven't been in it and you're looking for a trade into earnings, I just think that like there isn't as compelling of a trade here anymore. I mean, normally what I like to talk about is stocks that are in consolidation, flags, bases, right? Like those are the ones that are more interesting because they're the ones you could see the expansion of volatility, right? Stocks that are essentially parabolic into earnings, it's kind of like complete opposite. You're looking for maybe more of a contraction of volatility, right? Because it's going to be hard pressed for a stock to maintain this type of slope. I mean, it's basically straight up. The premiums are through the roof, expectations are through the roof, and now it would probably have to be like it's significantly materially fantastic or bad for it to see that type of move, and either scenario probably lower probability. All right, so that's why like the title of the video is FOMO is not good for earnings, right? And it's just something you're really gonna have to keep in mind because there are a lot of stocks that are up a ton going into this earnings season, and as much as like I want to trade some of these, right? As much as like I think some of them could be movers, you really have to consider the overall setup, right? I mean, if these things are straight up, then expectations are probably as elevated as the stocks, right? Option pricing is probably super elevated, and these are all things you really need to factor in when you're determining whether or not to take these or put on an earnings trade, all right? So I'm hoping we at least get like a pause or maybe a consolidation in the market. I mean, that'd be good because that means like maybe get like a few days or like a week long base in some names before the report. Even just like that short of like a period would lead to some better patterns in my opinion. So I'm really optimistic that maybe the next few days chop around, build some bases, some flags, and that'll give us better opportunities going forward. All right. So questions or comments? I'd love to hear from you. If you like these videos and you're looking for more information on options trading or more information on options education, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play, all right? So have a fantastic night. Best of luck if you guys are playing anything, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.